So now that the battle is over, let's do a review of the entire war, so to speak. Let's see if we can point out where Kendrick won and where Drake made mistakes. First person shooter. That was pretty much the initiating factor for all of this. And J. Cole is still involved at this point. That song, it's a good song. As far as the battle is concerned, Drake didn't make a mistake yet. The person who made the mistake was J. Cole.
Were shots fired in first person shooter?
No. But I'm saying J. Cole made the mistake of trying to do the let's all get along. Kendrick comes out on the Future song, the Future Metro Boomin song. The beat knocks better. All around, I think that's a better song than First Person Shooter. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, you gotta give it to you gotta give it to the Like That joint and say that was definitely the better song.
Kendrick comes out, he shits on your song. At that point, Kendrick is up. Because Kendrick said, fuck the big three, it's just big me. Prince outlived Mike Jack. That's a rebuttal to Drake saying, I'm one away from Michael, nigga, beat it. And the song has had a bigger impact than First Person Shooter. So at this point, it's like, okay, game on. Drake said, I'm tired of this short guy taking me for a puss. He puts out push-ups. Now that is a joint. Now that I have played back many a times. I think that song is better than a first-person shooter. And he takes more shots at Kendrick than Kendrick did to him. More direct. That was when he said, okay, come out and play. Then he puts out the tailor-made freestyle.
I get the whole trying to recreate the whole back-to-back thing, but at that point it was like, okay, now this is kind of coming out kind of corny right now, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely think it was a misstep. I didn't like the song. It showed that he was a little bit tentative, maybe a little bit overzealous. That to me was a misstep. However, I kind of just eliminated it out of my mind. Like, I'm just gonna act like this never happened. I was like, okay, you pretty much taunting Kendrick, like come out, right? In my head, Drake is still up, but you're definitely showing a chink in your armor. Here comes Euphoria. What did you think about the Euphoria song? And at that point, what are you thinking?
When Euphoria came out, I definitely thought, okay, the tides have definitely changed, and then Kendrick is up. I didn't think that Drake would have another one in him, after this, you know what I'm saying? But clearly I would be proven wrong when we get to that.
Now, prior to it coming out, for a second, I was like, the longer, because I don't really care about this clock thing, right? However, the longer Kendrick would have taken, the more the anticipation and the more the expectation would be. Kendrick put out Euphoria on a random Tuesday. It was at this moment I knew Drake fucked up. I felt, Drake, you made a mistake. I was like, oh yeah, there's a clear difference between these two.
You were in trouble.
I thought Drake is out of his league immediately when I heard Euphoria. Kendrick goes apeshit for fucking 5 minutes straight. I've never heard Drake rap at this level in his entire career. To me, at that point, I was like, yeah, you are fighting an uphill battle right now. At this point, there's not the so-called mudslinging. I don't think there was any dirty boxing happening. So I was still open to the Drake response. But even before Drake does that, Kendrick puts out the 616 joint.
I really love that one. Man, I must have played that one so many times, bro. Just the quality of it, bro, and the production-wise, it was just going in, bro. And that was just Kendrick just rapping, man. Like, that was just Kendrick just rapping for real. Again, flexing the skill and the ability, you know what I'm saying?
On the Euphoria song, he goes, back to back, I like that record. I'm gonna get back to that for the record. When I heard that, I thought, yeah, he might do a back to back. He might, drop 2 before Drake responds. He does do that. I just took it as a warning. And on 616, Kendrick is like pretty much almost giving Drake a cop out. In that, yo, dude, we don't need to take this further. you can just surrender at this point, and your image will not be tarnished as it is right now, right? In hindsight, we can say. It's the mind games. It's the mind games that Kendrick was playing, you know. Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? 100 niggas that you got on salary, 20 of them want you as a casualty. All that is mine. Whether it's true or not, this thing of the mole. Who's the mole?
Even talking on act, you know, just looking compromised and stuff.
If Euphoria was him stabbing Drake in the stomach, I don't feel that 616 did necessarily more damage.
When it comes to 616, that's like the least disrespectful joint out of all these like diss records. When Family Matters came out, I thought, okay, now the disrespect level has been upped a little bit. Mentioning the niggas kids again, like about how one of them probably ain't his, you know, one of them is probably like your managers, they free or whatnot. I just thought to myself that, oh, okay, now you're about to wake up a dragon.
Do you think that Family Matters leveled the score? Do you feel like Family Matters put Drake ahead? What did you feel as far as the score at that point?
I still felt like Kendrick was up at that point.
Family Matters was basically push-ups on steroids. He's addressing all the same people. He's doing pretty much everything but 3 beat switches, more disrespectful, and rapping at a higher level. Why do you think Drake decided to take it that far? Because it's the first time in Drake's career he did that.
I just feel like dude's being gassed up where he's in this headspace right now where, like, you know, I'm untouchable.
I think it's 2 things. 1, him being burned from the Pusha T situation. So him saying, I'm gonna do it before you do it. Clearly, when it comes to this, he said, no limit. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to win this battle. And the second reason is, I think Drake knew, I'm not gonna win this battle of bars. I'm gonna win this battle of information. As a song, it's a very good song. Second verse specifically, Drake is rapping his ass off. However, as a diss track, I feel he was not focused enough on Kendrick. Too scatterbrained. That 20v1 angle that he was pushing the whole time, it was sort of a defense mechanism to where if he does lose this battle, he can say, wow, it's a built-in excuse. Which once again, you're showing another chink in your armor that you don't want to commit to this one thing. It's like you're looking for a way out. At no point in this battle did I ever feel like Drake was prepared to just trade bars with Kendrick. Because I think he's smart enough to know that Kendrick beats him in that department. His tactic was to play the information wars, the propaganda, and have the hit. Because both these songs, the Push-Ups joint and this Family Matters joint, it's club friendly. I was really trying to keep it PG. Na 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 na. Know what I'm saying? That's why he went that route. In the first verse, he does make mention of, the day free. The second beat, although it's my favorite, it probably has the least things to say about Kendrick on the second verse. And then on the third verse, that's where he solely focuses on Kendrick. And that's when he does most of the dirty work, dirty boxing, so to speak, on that last verse. I listened to that, I was like, yes, this is definitely a step up from Push-Ups. However, I did not feel it was better than Euphoria. So even at that point, I still have Kendrick up. 20 minutes later, here comes Meet the Grahams. Now once again, Kendrick is just outsmarting Drake. For you to have a song called Family Matters, and in 20 minutes, 40 minutes, however long it wasn't an hour, for Kendrick to have a response to that song, gave credence that clearly Kendrick had information of the song. There's no way you can tell me he did not.
And the way that it was just done and constructed, man, like this was well prepared. When Meet the Grams came out, bro, I just thought, man, this is some pretty haunting shit, as far as production-wise goes, and even just the content of it, bro. Like this was Kendrick gloves off. I already had him up, but after this, I thought, nah, this gotta be it now.
May not be the most fun to listen to unless you're psycho. But definitely out of all the diss tracks, the most potent one. The most damaging to Drake's image. If even a quarter of those things are true, Kendrick might ja rule Drake. Actually worse.
Yeah.
Because nobody thinks Ja Rule is a fucking pedophile.
And then to just even try and bring up another kid as well in Drake's life, you know what I'm saying? Which still yet to be confirmed, but now you're bringing up an entirely different angle, right? Because what this guy was already called out for hiding a kid, that there's a possibility that he's hiding another or several.
A big part of war is propaganda. So let's just assume they're both lying right now. Kendrick's lies are more convincing.
That's fair.
He lied better. For Drake, him being attracted to adolescents is something that's already been out there. Him not taking care of his kids is something that's already been out there. And the cover art, he just got outmaneuvered. At Meet the Grahams, I was like, yeah, there's no coming back from this for Drake. At this point, you should just throw in the towel. But Kendrick said, oh no, I'm not done. He's a sadist.
No remorse.
They not like us, thoughts.
It's a jam. That's all I got for that one, bro. It's a jam. And again, it's just Kendrick's way of just showing Drake like, hey, you think you're the only one that can do this hit thing, like, you know, like we mentioned earlier on in the video, right, where you can just make a hit and make an anthem out of it that everybody sings along to. I can do that too.
Not like us as the cherry on top, a sort of victory lap. Kendrick is just embarrassing him at that point. That's all he's doing. OV ho, he's just taunting. The hard part 6. So at this point, Kendrick is winning and there's no way he can lose. Even if Drake came back with a fire song, it wouldn't have been enough.
Drake sounds dejected as fuck, you know, tired. The fire was gone at that point from his side. It was definitely raps at that point.
Yeah, so public perception, bars, even Drake's main trait, commercially, he was being outperformed by Kendrick. Kendrick just was a better rapper, more strategic, and played on Drake's insecurities. I think Drake was too impulsive.
These are just signs that have been out there for years, and Kendrick just put that out on a worldwide display.